Welcome everyone to the 2024 Payments Canada Summit Digital Experience. Now, within the Brazilian instant payment or RP ecosystem, the Central Bank of Brazil created PIX, which is the Brazilian RP scheme that enables its users, being consumers, businesses, and government entities, to send and receive payment transfers in a few seconds at any time, including non-business days. PIX enables lower financial costs, increased security, improved customer experience. It promotes financial inclusion, the digitization of retail payments, and much, much more. Today, to discuss these exciting developments in payments, I'm joined by Carlos Brandt, who is the head of management and operations at PIX in Brazil. So welcome, Carlos.
Thank you very much, Robyn, and thanks for the invitation for being here to participate and to contribute with this great event. So I'm really happy to talk about PIX today.
Well, we're really happy you're here. So tell us a little bit more, maybe to start off with, in terms of the evolution of PIX. I know from personal experience, it's been the envy of many other countries. So what do you think are the key drivers to its success?
Yeah, well, the PIX has been growing steadily since the beginning of its operation in November 2020, both in terms of users and, of course, transactions. If we analyze in terms of users, we have right now almost 90% of the adult population in this steady growth in this almost 4 years of operations. And we're almost reaching 150 million individuals in PIX as being PIX users. In terms of merchants, we have right now almost 16 million merchants already onboarded and using PIX to make and to receive payments. That accounts for almost 80% of the merchants in Brazil. And in terms of transactions, we also see this steady growth, and we're reaching 5 billion transactions per minute in a very steady pattern in this almost 4 year of operations. So we started back then actually before 2020, of course, to analyzing the needs and opportunities to develop a new payment ecosystem from scratch. And more than just worrying about the specifications and the QR codes and the alliance and so on, we put in place what we call a PIX strategy, which pretty much, in our view, is responsible or explains the success that we have here in terms of adoption of PIX in Brazil. And that PIX strategy starts with communication. So that's the first point here that I would like to highlight. So we established, or we set up a very strong communication strategy to give awareness to the public, to individuals, to companies, businesses, and of course government as well, because government payments are also a very important use case in PIX. So people could understand how the payment instrument works, what happens if something goes wrong, and perceive the benefits and so on. We established a single brand, PIX, as a single brand of the scheme, which makes life a lot easier for the users, because they can communicate with other users in an easy way. And this communication plan also got everyone involved in communication actions, like not only the PCB, the Central Bank of Brazil, but also the PSPs, and also the press and other stakeholders in this communication plan. Like, for example, we partnership with digital influencers and shared information with them so they could produce content on the social medias and so on. The second aspect I would like to highlight is cost. There is no fee for individuals, but we knew that there was a clear need for a business case for the PSPs. They are there to offer payment services, and they need to to make profit out of it. So we allowed fees for merchants, but we created a very low cost ecosystem for the PSPs. And we also set up a very competitive and open environment with more than 800 PSPs now, almost reaching in a few months, counting the institutions that are on the onboarding process of almost 1,000 PSPs. And with this competitive environment and low cost ecosystem, there was a good incentives for achieving low fees for merchants. So they make money, but the merchants benefit from low fees. The third aspect I would like to highlight is the strong user-centered approach that we took designing. So we knew that individuals needed a very simple, intuitive solution. So established UX requirements for the PSPs apps. So no matter which PSPs you would be connected to, you would have the individuals would get a very good experience in terms of making a payment. And we also knew that for companies, they need a more complex solutions. So we standardized APIs and other technical aspects to allow the good development of solutions for companies. We also set up the scheme in a way that we could serve any use case. So that's another very important aspect, not only P2P, but all kind of P2N transactions, also government transactions. So that was also very important. We, of course, had to build in a sense that the central bank is the scheme owner. We had to build an ecosystem with a very strong relationship between public and private agents. So in that way, we could get the most out of each actor. So the central bank is there to promote a level playing field, to offer low-cost infrastructures, to pursue public objectives, while the public sector is there to build solutions and service to end users, innovation on top of the PIX platform, and so on. And to have that relationship of that dialogue, we had to establish a strong governance framework and a good way to make this dialogue to happen. So we have a PIX forum, which is a formal place for discussions to make the PIX rule book and all the developments, new products, and so on. And lastly, I would like to highlight security. I mean, security has to be there at all times in terms of concerns and building new features to have the best security solutions in all levels in the PIX ecosystem.
Thanks for that, Carlos. So I have, as you were talking, I have more and more and more questions that I'd love to dive into each of those aspects, but we've only got a limited time today. So one of the things I wanted to pick on there is what are some of the most interesting use cases that you're actually seeing come out, since your launch?
We, as I said, we want to have PIX as a good instrument for any use case. So in that sense, we take all the efforts to develop and to offer a good solution for whatever use case people need in terms of payments. But one specific use case I would like to highlight, just that I had in mind here, a recent situation that we had in Brazil, which is still happening actually. Big flood in the south of Brazil. They got the amount of rain in 1 week that was expected in a whole year. So the flood is very has been impacting very much people. Many people lost their houses, businesses lost their stores, and people, are losing they whatever they have, and actually many people actually dying in the floods. And PIX has been very important to mitigate the impact of this huge flood that we are having now. So we are seeing a lot of donations being collected via PIX. So all of the people that want to help and donate money to the people that are impacted there are making those donations using PIX. And also the people that are receiving donations, they're sending the money right away to the people that are impacted there in a very fast and efficient way. So that is mitigating a lot the impact. So that's, a use case that I would like to highlight just because it's, it's very impactful in terms of social benefits that we're seeing now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic use case in terms of, the real world applicability of this, and how these real time payments really can make a difference in people's lives when it's most needed. That's great. Thanks, Carlos. So as you know, like I said earlier, Brazil is the envy of many other countries. So many other countries are still kind of going through their efforts to implement a real time payment system. So what advice might you have for these other jurisdictions as they go through this implementation of their systems?
My advice is to not only to focus on, let's say, the technical aspect of an instant payment, not only the specifications and the rule books and standards and so on, but also having a wide look at the strategy, the implementation strategy, as I said, the communication, pricing policy, engagement of the stakeholders. I think that's what is really making the difference here in Brazil with the great adoption that we have seen with PIX.
That's a fantastic piece of advice. Thank you. And then finally, before we wrap up, I know we're almost at time. What is next for PIX? What are we going to see coming out of Brazil next?
Yeah, we are working right now in new products and new features in the PIX ecosystem. The top priority that we have right now is what we call the Auto PIX, which is a solution for recurring payments. And this solution aims to be a very intuitive solution for users. So of course, a very safe solution for them, but also in a way that is a good solution for any type of business of all sizes, all types, any business models. So whatever they need, any kind of business needs in terms of recurring payments, they will have this solution. So we are working right now in the recurring payment solution, which is called AutoPix, as I said. We are also working on solutions for marketplaces, because we know that the marketplaces, they have specific needs, both in terms of DVP solutions, so breaking the transaction in two to make it possible to have the marketplace as the trustee of this transaction between buyer and seller. And they also need solutions for shopping cart with multiple sellers. So that requires a specific feature for that. So we are also working on this. We are starting to work right now in a solution for NFC payments in PIX. We right now have the PIX keys using the alliance, and we have also the QR codes. And we are exploring the NFC payments to make a better experience, or to give a better experience for the payers and payees in physical stores. So that's something that we are exploring right now. And another important feature that we are also working on the exploratory phase, let's say, is what we call a PIX International. So it's a solution for cross-border payments. We know that cross-border payments have challenges in terms of cost, in terms of access, in terms of speed, in terms of transparency. And as this instant payment in the domestic level, they have addressed those challenges. It's a good way to use the instant payments to also address these challenges in the cross-border level. So we are exploring two different approaches, bilateral links and multilateral links, solutions like the Project Nexus conducted by DPS and so on. And as soon as we have a solution that we think is the most appropriate for the PIX environment and for the PIX participants, we will start to go to the development stage. So that's, I mean, the four main features that we are working right now in PIX.
That's fantastic, and that cross-border thing. I mean, that's we'll be watching your developments there, because certainly know that is, I think, one of the biggest topics right now across the world in terms of real-time payments is how do you get that? How do you solve for the cross-border? So thanks for that, Carlos. It's been an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you today. Thank you for taking the time to join us, and I really do look forward to continuing our conversation, because, as I said, there is so much in there that be so interesting to understand.
Yeah, thank you very much.
My pleasure.